So I'm finally ready to tell my story. Recently, I went to Vegas for 3 nights. The initial purpose of this trip was just to go to Encore. I have never been to Las Vegas at all, and I've never been to obviously the Encore in Las Vegas. So I am an Encore super fan. I love the service, the decor, the vibe. Encore is just one of those places that just feel like home to me. But since it was my first trip to Vegas, I thought, why not do a little hotel hopping and see what the best luxury hotel in Vegas actually is? Because even though I love Encore so much, it might not be the best. And also seeing the different interior designs of different hotels is something that's just fun to me beyond anything else. A lot of people compare Palazzo and Venetian to Encore and Wynn and say that they're tied for the best hotels on the strip. And after what I'm about to tell you, after the experience I had, I can't understand how people have come to this conclusion. So the three hotels that I picked were Encore, Palazzo, and the Waldorf Astoria, and I'm going to give you kind of a comparison of all three at the end, a brief one. So don't hold your breath for it. But let's get into the horrific stay that I had at Palazzo. So I booked my reservation on July 29th, to be exact, for one night in the Executive Theater one bedroom suite on September 5th. The only reason I booked this hotel was for the theater. And this is a very important part of the story, okay? So I only booked the hotel room for the theater. The reason for this is that I personally think the decor and just the overall vibe of both Palazzo and Venetian is very boring, very outdated, and it just is not something that I consider a luxurious experience. And keep in mind that they also have the executive wellness suite, which has a sauna in it. Oh, and by the way, the executive theater suite and the Palazzo Tower has both a workout room and a treadmill in it. So those were the two big amenities that I really wanted to utilize, the treadmill and the movie theater. So the day is September 5th. It's a hot Vegas day. We finished our stay at Encore and we were able to get late checkout at Encore, so we ended up leaving at 1 p.m. If you're familiar with the strip, you know that Encore is a short walk, well, maybe not a short walk, but they're right next to each other. It's about a mile, I would say. So we leave Encore at 1 p.m. We walk over to Palazzo. We enjoy all the scenery, the waterfall that you see of Wynn as you're walking towards Palazzo. All really nice, a great experience. We were having a great time and super excited to stay at this new hotel suite that had a theater in it. So we get to Palazzo about 1:30, 1:45, and we go straight to the desk and ask if they have early check-in available because that's always really nice. It was also the middle of the week and after Labor Day, so most people and families were returned to work and school. So it wasn't a super busy time to go to Vegas. They did not have early check-in available, which I completely understand, especially when you do not pay for it. They cannot guarantee early check-in. Cool, we were all really hungry, so we went over to the like the food court that they have, and we also just enjoyed walking past the gondolas and seeing all the hotel has to offer because again, we've never been here before. And they did register us for pre-check-in, so that means basically when the room was ready, they would text us and then we would be able to go up straight to the room and just check in because they already gave us the keys at the desk. So we go to the food court, we each get what we want. We were done eating about 3:30 and check-in starts at 3. So after waiting about 30 minutes, we decide to walk back to the front desk and say, "Hey, is the room ready? What's going on?" The lady I spoke to at the front desk was different than the one that checked us in, and she was very rude. She just kept saying, you booked the suite, and since you booked the suite and the suites are so much bigger than our regular rooms, we do not know when this room is going to be available. Nobody at Encore has ever spoken to me this way. I've stayed at Encore about 3 or 4 times. Nobody ever, as a matter of fact, at a hotel has ever spoken to me this way. Her tone was just very like it was my fault that the room wasn't ready because you booked the suite, and since you booked such a large room, I don't know, I can't help you because I don't know when the room is going to be available because the room is so big and you booked it. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna wait until the room is ready. 4 o'clock, the room is still not ready. And I don't know the exact policies. I don't know how it works in general, but as far as I was concerned, at 3 o'clock you were able to check into your room. They were telling me no, check-in starts at 3 o'clock and your room is going to be ready whenever your room gets ready. Whenever we're done with your room, that's when it'll be ready. And keep in mind, since you booked a suite that's so much bigger than all our other rooms, we really don't know when the room is going to be ready. So at this point, it wasn't a huge deal. I was a little irritated just for the fact that they just kept saying they don't know, they have no idea. That was kind of a little annoying to me, but whatever, didn't completely ruin my day. The room was ready about 4:30. We go up to the room, we're looking around. I'm walking around. I'm like, I go to the bathroom. There's no treadmill in the bathroom. So I was like, okay, that's a little weird. I'm walking around and I'm like, there's also no movie theater in this room. So now I'm like, okay, I have to call down and let them know they gave us the wrong room. Call down, I speak to again another representative, and I basically explained to them this is not the room that I paid for. She was like, oh yeah, the executive theater one suite was not available, so we just gave you the regular one bedroom suite. I was so this is where I started to get a little upset because I'm like, nobody at check-in told me that the room that I paid for 2 months ago, by the way, was not available and that I would not be staying at that room or in that room. At this point I was like, yeah, I just want my money back because if there's no theater and there's no treadmill, I don't need to be here. I would rather stay at Wynn for the night because I've always wanted to stay at Wynn, but I really don't like the decor. I do not like the remodel that they did to the Wynn rooms, but Wynn is the OG, so you gotta stay at Wynn at least once. So I said, please give me my money back. I will leave. I don't want to be here. I'm good. But then this is where it just keeps going. It just keeps getting worse. She said, "Oh no, we can't give you a refund because actually when you book the room, we can't guarantee that we'll be able to give you that exact room. It's based on availability." She said the best we can do is waive the resort fee. So I'm like, this is kind of crazy. But I was like, you know what? Just I said this to her. I said, just because you don't want to give me my money back does not mean that I will not get my money back. So let's get this really clear, okay? My mom said she was gonna go down and talk to the manager. I hung up the phone with the lady and I called American Express immediately. I was like, hey, I booked this room. I paid for it. This is the room type that I booked. I had it all email confirmation, all that. I said, is this something that I'm able to dispute? The guy said yes. We put in the claim. Cool. He asked me to submit the documents stating the room that I booked and the room they gave me. I did not have documentation of the room that they gave me. Well, I think I did have one screenshot, but I wanted something in paper, so I called down again while my mom was still downstairs, and I said, "Hey, can I? Is there any way you guys can give me some proof of the room that you gave me?" This is again another representative, so I'm having to keep explaining this story over and over and over again to different people. The lady said she was a little bit more accommodating. The other two that I spoke to were really rude, but this one lady was a little bit more accommodating, a little bit more nice. She said, hey, sorry this has happened. Let me see what we can do. She comes back. She says, the best we can do is give you 50% off of the room rate. I said, I don't want to be here if I'm not getting the movie theater and the treadmill. If you guys don't have that room available, I would like a refund and I would like to leave. She said, yeah, no, we can't do that. So I said, okay, cool. I put in the dispute. So I'm just going to let that be what it is. Hopefully I just get the room for free and we'll have a free night at a hotel. And I said, since I've been on the phone with you guys for 2.5 hours going back and forth with the situation, can we have late checkout? Because this is kind of taken away from our time here. She said, sure. They agreed to like, I think 1 p.m. checkout. And so that was what it was. My mom comes back upstairs and she says the manager gave her this long packet of the terms and conditions saying, when you book a room, it's based on availability or something weird. But it was clear that he kind of just made it mean what he wanted it to mean. It wasn't really making a lot of sense to us. But like I said, I put in the dispute. It is what it is. At this point, that really took a lot out of me. I don't do a lot of arguing. I don't do confrontation. I don't do any of that. So this is just very exhausting. I wasn't in the best mood, but we still try to enjoy the rest of our day. In the morning, my mom decided to call customer service, I guess their customer service line, and explain the situation to them and see what they had to say about it. And the lady she spoke to let her know that they were supposed to either refund us or give us a room of the equal caliber, I think she said. So if the theater suite wasn't available, they were supposed to offer us the wellness suite, which had the sauna in it. And they did neither of those things. So they were, again, clearly in the wrong, and their customer service or whoever the higher ups were letting us know that they were in the wrong. So my mom calls the manager again in the morning and explains to them what she was just told. And the manager says, okay, how about this? We'll give you a refund, but we want you out as soon as possible. So before 11, even though they agreed to 1 p.m. checkout. That response, okay, I was in the wrong. Instead of saying, I was wrong, here's what we can do. You want me to leave immediately. No apology, no nothing. It was just crazy. We could have avoided all this. I told you guys I would leave last night. Y'all didn't want to give me my money back. It never had to be this way. It really never had to get to this point. So we got ready and we left about 10 a.m. I'm really disappointed and I'm really torn because there were a lot of things we wanted to do inside the Venetian. Kind of more so as far as entertainment. There was this VR store that my brother saw that he wanted to go to. I know that I will never spend money to stay there ever again in my life, but I'm kind of torn on like the entertainment part. I kind of feel like you should put your money where your mouth is and kind of not support the places that you've had terrible experiences at, because if more people did that, a lot of the companies that exist and continue to treat people poorly would no longer exist. So I don't really know. I have no problem never stepping foot in there again. I just feel like, for the sake of my brother and sister and things that they want to do, but maybe you should teach them to not support the places that don't support them or are not kind to them. So I don't know. The third night, we stayed at the Waldorf Astoria, which was such a breath of fresh air compared to the horrible experience we had at Palazzo the night before. So after we left Palazzo, we walked to the Waldorf Astoria. So again, if you are familiar with the strip, you know that Palazzo is all the way over here and the Waldorf is all the way over here. It was almost a 2 mile walk. It took us over an hour, mainly because my mom and my siblings kept stopping. I could do it in a straight, no stop, straight walk because I'm I like walking. I don't mind a little walk, but it did take us a minute to get there. I offered to Uber us. I said, guys, if it ever becomes too much, let's just Uber. And they kept saying, no, no, we got it. And then towards the end is when it really started to catch up with them. But we were like too close to decide to Uber at that point because we were like 2 hotels away, but it was so far because you had to go up the escalators and all that craziness. So we get to the Waldorf about 12 p.m. And guess who lets us check in at 12 p.m.? And mind you, the Waldorf check in is at 4 p.m. The Waldorf lets us check in at 4 p.m. Encore let us check in at 10 a.m. Our flight landed about 9 something, like 9:30. They let us check in at 10 a.m. And I know again that they can't guarantee early check in, but the fact that everybody is so accommodating, everybody is so nice, and Palazzo is like the one hotel that can't get it together, there's no need for me to be there because, like I said, they're really not the best hotel on the strip. And if you think they are, God bless your heart. Um, yeah, because I don't understand. When we got to the Waldorf, they had presents for my brother and my sister. So I guess if you check in with kids, they had like a little stuffed animal for them. They had free water bottles. I was just so happy to be there. And while I think that Encore is definitely an amazing hotel, I have zero complaints about Encore. I think Waldorf having free water and giving gifts to the children is like above and beyond, and why I would say that they're the best hotel on the strip. But also what I think is also based on what I expect from a hotel. I don't gamble, so I'm not looking for a casino in the lobby. I actually love that there isn't a casino at the Waldorf. It smells like a spa when you walk in. It's just a really nice experience. They also have a house car. So anywhere you need to go within a mile of the Waldorf, or it might be 2 miles. I think it's a mile. They will bring you there. And here's really like the above and beyond part that I'm talking about. We wanted to go to the high roller. The house car wasn't there, and the person, I don't know exactly what his title is, that was down there said, hey, the house car's not available. But he made a call and had someone come pick us up to bring us to the high roller. So that's just, again, above and beyond. Customer service is amazing at the Waldorf. As far as the amenities, I didn't go to the gym at Encore. I did walk past the gym at the Waldorf coming back from the pool, and they have this fruit infused water. We had a steam shower. The pool had a rooftop vibe because you can see all the other hotels like towering over you. The pool at Encore was nice. It was really freeing. They were passing grapes around. Again, both hotels are amazing, but I just feel like Waldorf is just a little bit above Encore. I'm still a little heartbroken about what happened at Palazzo because it just never needed to be this way. But they aren't the only hotel in Vegas with a movie theater in the suite. Palms also has one. Those suites are significantly more expensive, but I have no concern or doubt that I will get there one day. So just stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.